Hello, friends, and welcome into Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey here with a look at some potential JK Dobbins replacements. I hate that we're here, but that's the reality of the situation. As I'm sure everyone watching already knows, Dobbins tore his ACL in the team's final preseason game, and his season is now over, leaving the Ravens a bit thinner at the running back position. I was fully convinced that Dobbins was going to have a massive breakout year. He was going to emerge as a true number one back, and he was going to blow past the 1,000-yard mark this season for Baltimore. In 2020, in only 15 games with just 134 carries, Dobbins had 805 yards. Now, he was probably not going to match his 6 yards per carry average, but he would have been more involved in the ground game, more involved in the passing game. I was hyped about Dobbins this year. Now the Ravens running back room is a little bit different. Gus Edwards, more on him in a second, is primed to be the lead back as the Gus Bus got paid and now gets involved more frequently. There's also Tyson Williams and Justice Hill, who I think make the team right now. We'll see about Nate McCray. Feels like he's more of a practice squad guy. First, more in depth on Edwards, the obvious true internal replacement for JK Dobbins. Edwards has been involved since being a UDFA for the Ravens. 5 yards per carry is awesome. I think he gets a bit of an uptick, but it's not going to be a full workload only for Gus Edwards. The Ravens like to rotate their backs. They will do that again this year. There are plenty of touches to replace with the loss of J.K. Dobbins. One very intriguing name now is former UDFA Tyson Williams, who spent most of last season for the Ravens on the practice squad. He kind of bounced around college, but he's drawn praise in camp and the preseason. In fact, it seemed like Williams had actually emerged as the number 3 back over Justice Hill. Williams is a potential dark horse to keep an eye out for a much larger role in 2021. There's also former Oklahoma State running back Justice Hill. Now, he has missed some time in the preseason with an ankle injury. I thought he was kind of sort of on the roster bubble before Dobbins' injury, but now he's pretty much going to make it. He's, in fact, in line to contribute as well this season. But those are the only really 3 guys on the roster I trust. Sorry, Nate McCray. Do you think the Ravens then need to add another running back? Get your votes in for me. In fact, this is the pinned comment, so go get your votes in down there in the comment section. Type 1 to yes, add 1 more, or type in 0 for no, the Ravens are just fine. Let's go through some free agency options. First, the big name, the obvious name heavily connected to the Ravens. That is Todd Gurley. The Ravens visited with him this offseason. However, they reportedly don't plan on signing him, at least for now. They want to go more of a next man approach, but that might change as the season moves on. Plus, if you wait a week, you don't have to fully guarantee a veteran's salary for the season. The injuries, though, for Todd Gurley have really started to take its toll. He had just 3.8 yards per carry in 2019, and he was horrible, especially down the stretch last year. Yes, he continues to have a very unique and talented nose for the end zone, 9 touchdowns last year for the Falcons, but only 3.5 yards per carry. After Week 10, Todd Gurley was barely getting 2.6 yards per carry. That's not replacement level. That's far below replacement level play. So do you want to sign Todd Gurley? Ravens fans, get your votes in for me in the comments section. Why for yes, you want to bring him in, and for no, you do not. Next up, a name I'm sure Ravens fans are familiar with, LeVeon Bell. Team knows him well from his time with the Steelers. He does still offer something I think the Ravens are likely going to be looking for. That's third down ability, having a reliable pass catcher. I think Dobbins is really going to be a focal point of his game this year. Much like Todd Gurley, Bell is not what he was in his prime. The guy we saw for the Jets and Chiefs last year, he doesn't have the same juice he did when he was arguably the best back in the NFL for the Pittsburgh Steelers. A big-time name, not sure how reliable he is anymore. Next up is Duke Johnson, who I'm a bit surprised is still unsigned right now for the Houston Texans. Now, he's at his best as a pass-catching running back, and I think that's, again, where his value could come into play. He's not a great runner. His stats do bear that out, but it is a good fit as a pass catcher. Johnson on the ground last year, nothing special, 3.1 yards per carry. But as a pass catcher, as a pure third down back who could maybe help you on returns if you had to as well, I do think there is the potential for some impact. Now, Ravens fans, it's very simple here at Chat Sports. The more subscribers we have, the more videos you guys end up doing. We got past 1,000. That's awesome, but we're still way behind our Browns and Steelers channel. Heck, the Bengals one is catching up ground too, which is surprising. So if you want more Ravens videos, then subscribe. It is a meritocracy here, so if you want updates, and we plan on giving them to you, hit that big red button and subscribe today. Adrian Peterson next up here. I almost went with Frank Gore for the ageless wonder category. Peterson says he still wants to play in the NFL, and he can definitely still contribute in some capacity as a base running back, i.e. first and second downs. But, A, is he a great scheme fit with the Ravens? I'm not so sure. Peterson's definitely better and has been better as more of a almost I-form type of guy. The decline has set in, and I don't know how much value Peterson will truly end up bringing as a third down guy, which I think the Ravens need for a backup running back, which is what they're searching for right now behind Gus Edwards. Peterson is a no-doubt Hall of Famer. I just wonder if the fit and the timing is right as we sit right now for Baltimore. Final free agent name, that is Carryon Johnson. He was waived off of IR by the Eagles. Early in his career, Johnson showed a ton of talent. Unfortunately, he has regressed over the past 2 seasons. Yes, he has a 4.3 yards per carry in his career. It's dropped each year he's been in the NFL. Johnson's injuries have been a problem, and they were a problem in college at Auburn as well. Because of that, I don't know if the Ravens want to gamble on the talent amidst all the injuries and the apparent regression. Now, I want you guys to let me know in the comments section a running back who you want to sign. None is a viable answer, but there are a lot of other free agent backs, Frank Gore and plenty of other guys who are going to get cut in the next 48 or so hours that could be options for the Ravens. So get your votes in for me in the comments section. Free agency is not the only way to add another back. There's also the trade market, and I almost put Mark Ingram on here, but that maybe felt a little bit too soon. Instead, 3 other names the Ravens could pursue via a trade. First up, Royce Freeman, a solid quality backup running back. Now, I think he might be the odd man out in Denver behind Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, and also Mike Boone. He's also very cheap from the salary cap perspective. Under $1 million this year. That's quite affordable. Freeman is, to an extent, a bit of a replacement level back. A very flat 4 yards per carry. I think that number would go up in the Ravens' very run-friendly type of offense, but he might not be the biggest home run threat that the Ravens could search for in the trade market. Now, I want you guys to name a running back you want to trade for. If you want to bring back Mark Ingram, let me know in the comments section. But get your votes in. Name a running back who you guys want to trade for. Next up, and this is the most intriguing name for me, actually, Rashaad Penny, former first-round pick, unfortunately, has been a bust. Despite showing flashes, consistency and health has not been his game in Seattle. And there's some speculation he might be in the roster bubble for a former Ravens legend, Alex Collins, for the Seahawks this year. Now, cost a bit more expensive, just under $2 million. But when he's been able to play, the flashes of big plays have been there, 5.1 yards per carry. The upside for Penny is higher than anybody on this list. The question is the cost the right amount for the Ravens, and do they trust him to actually be healthy after missing most of last year due to injury? One last name, a veteran one, that is Latavius Murray. Now, I think he's probably RB3 right now for the Saints, behind former UDFA Tony Jones. But Murray has proven himself as a reliable number 2 running back. The stats absolutely bear that out. He's been the kind of 1B to an extent alongside alongside Alvin Kamara, with Kamara, being the number one back, obviously. Money is a factor there for the Ravens as well, $3 million, but keep an eye on Murray as a potential trade target.